look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. You gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
When Joe Rogan heard about Floyd Mayweather's real estate claims, he didn't keep his doubts quiet. He leaned toward the podcast table and remarked, "Wait a second, those numbers don't line up."
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate it.
Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from an individual, from a billionaire, that had a 9% interest on the loan.
Joe Rogan challenged the entire story surrounding Floyd Mayweather, noting claims that he possesses numerous properties valued at many millions, and stressing that bold statements and confirmed holdings are completely different matters.
IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
It's
pay.
neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats.
That's where the discussion intensifies, since Floyd Mayweather created the entire Money Mayweather image around endless riches, piles of cash, high-end watches, and a financial empire that looked unreachable. Yet reports circulating in business circles suggest a far more complex situation.
Floyd Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings.
Reports from Business Insider stated that 2 commercial buildings linked to Floyd Mayweather had previously entered foreclosure, while other coverage suggested his Las Vegas strip club property could be taken due to unpaid tax obligations. Combine that with lawsuits alleging unpaid bills for luxury watches and jewelry, claims Floyd disputes, and the narrative shifts from flashy boasting toward financial examination.
Said that, I mean, things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million.
The outlet further reported that 2 condos at Trump International Hotel Las Vegas were briefly taken over because of unpaid taxes before being returned once payment was made, while a reported $54 million loan allegedly used his homes, private jet, and businesses as collateral. Whether it was exaggeration or confusion, the contrast between the wealthy image and these reports has clearly stirred debate. Joe Rogan's earlier doubts about Floyd Mayweather's financial empire had already made the discussion uneasy. Then, Chael Sonnen jumps into the conversation like someone grabbing the mic and skipping subtlety. Chael Sonnen basically responds to the "Is Floyd broke?" headlines by asking why anyone is acting surprised.
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. That they say he can't read. That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He grew up in a boxing gym, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
He turns the question back toward the audience, arguing that if people get up and work every week to earn money, then why should it seem odd for a boxer to keep fighting for the same reason? When Chael Sonnen delivers it, the point comes off as equal parts blunt honesty and trolling, but he keeps going. Chael then starts breaking down the myths surrounding boxing paydays, explaining that the billion-dollar earnings, talk, and huge pay-per-view totals often come from promotional announcements rather than publicly confirmed financial records. He adds that no one from the companies actually processing the pay-per-view sales has verified those massive figures, and that statement alone disrupts years of boxing hype narratives.
Gambling addict. He got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
At the same time, Chael Sonnen isn't just criticizing Floyd Mayweather, he's taking aim at the way sports finances are presented as a whole. He then turns to the chaos around contracts, noting that Floyd announcing several fights near the supposed Tyson matchup would drive any promoter crazy. In boxing, precise timing and exclusivity are key. That's where the irony hits. Floyd has been accusing Showtime of shady dealings himself.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And, yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic.
While some critics say Floyd's own promotion causes similar confusion with Logan Paul, the situation quickly turns into a confusing loop where everyone points fingers at someone else. Yet, Chael accidentally highlights a funny irony. People may question Floyd's earnings, challenge the pay amounts, argue over contracts, or dismiss exhibition matches. Still, the instant Mayweather's name appears on a fight poster, the entire combat sports scene stops and focuses.
Mayweather owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And now, of course, he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly.
Chael Sonnen already added fuel to the Floyd might be broke debate. Then Jason Whitlock and the panel jump in, and suddenly it turns into a full-blown financial investigation, and I'm sitting there thinking, we've officially moved from fight commentary to forensic accounting with boxing gloves. Whitlock starts by leaning on Shannon Sharpe and Oasis's theory that Floyd coming out of retirement is really about chasing a massive payday. As soon as names like Canelo, Manny Pacquiao, and Terrence Crawford enter the mix, the business side becomes obvious. Shannon points out that those are the only matchups capable of delivering the kind of money Floyd is seeking. It's not speculation. It's basically the VIP menu of superstar fights. Then Whitlock throws in that Rocky line, "Why do you fight?" And the conversation suddenly gets philosophical in the funniest way.
Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no choice.
Because yeah, Floyd constructed an entire persona around the idea that wealth equals success, literally rebranding from pretty boy to money. Whitlock highlights the sharp irony. When your entire image is tied to riches, even a hint of financial trouble becomes headline news. Then Dre adds a grounded perspective, saying, "The real question isn't what Floyd made, it's what we don't see. His cash flow, assets, debts, taxes, lifestyle. Basically, the financial iceberg lurking beneath all the flashy Instagram posts." Meanwhile, the panel cracks jokes about broke gamblers, IRS bills, and extravagant spending, making Floyd's career look less like a victory parade and more like a complex puzzle. But here's the part that's hilarious. While half the panel questions the sense of a nearly 50-year-old returning to the ring, the other half quietly acknowledges what every fight fan already knows. If Floyd Mayweather actually announces a matchup with someone like Crawford, Canelo, or even Pacquiao again, everyone debating it now will still be glued to the screen when the bell rings.
$1 billion, and he's 47 years old, and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers, that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and look, if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly 50 years old. This doesn't prove it.
Whitlock and the panel had already turned Floyd's return into a full-on financial investigation. Then Andre Ward joins the discussion, and the conversation immediately shifts from bold opinions to thoughtful, fighter-level insight. The difference is striking. Ward begins by emphasizing his long-standing respect for Floyd's dedication, a side often overlooked when people focus only on the flashy lifestyle. He points out that the luxury cars, private jets, and glitzy image were all part of the Mayweather persona, but beneath that, Floyd was always a disciplined athlete who never skipped a training session. When Ward admits he feels conflicted about the comeback, it comes across as genuine. He isn't criticizing Floyd like the rumor mill does. Instead, he's highlighting something deeper. Boxing becomes an integral part of who you are. Ward explains that the adrenaline, the spotlight, and the enormous fight night paychecks create an experience that everyday life simply cannot match.
Part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing, it was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included, early on didn't think that he could.
That perspective is something only a former champion can bring. Then Ward shifts the focus to a potential Pacquiao rematch, and suddenly my analyst instincts kick back in. He makes an interesting point. Older fighters can actually produce more action since they can't rely on the speed and constant movement they once had. With less footwork and more exchanges, that single insight challenges the common narrative that this fight would automatically be dull. But Ward repeatedly emphasizes the real challenge of age. Your mind may feel like you're the same fighter, while your body quietly disagrees. That observation alone accounts for countless boxing tragedies over the years. Still, even as Ward says he'd rather see both legends enjoying a relaxed retirement somewhere, he admits curiosity takes over. When two icons with unfinished business return to the ring, the entire fight world inevitably tunes in, whether we plan to watch or not.
Watch a fighter, he'll say he don't watch him, but he'll watch any potential opponent over and over and over, and he has to process, can he do anything with me? How does my skill set line up with his? Can I beat him? The problem with being 49 years of age is sometimes your brain can see things and tell you things that your body's not in agreement with. That's the problem with age. Your brain is still saying, I'm him. Your brain is still saying, man, I'm Money Mayweather. Man, these youngsters can't deal with me. But your body is saying, brother, we can't do it like that anymore.
Step back for a moment, and this whole situation starts to feel like four different realities, crashing into each other. Joe Rogan is challenging the story around Floyd's financial empire. Chael Sonnen is dismantling the myths about boxing paydays. Whitlock's panel is analyzing the business and lifestyle side of the story. Then Andre Ward brings in the fighter's perspective, reminding everyone that this sport embeds itself into your identity in ways money alone can't match. Some argue Floyd's comeback is driven by the pursuit of another massive payday. Others say the financial rumors are exaggerated chatter. Ward quietly highlights that sometimes fighters return simply because the competition, the spotlight, and the adrenaline are experiences ordinary life cannot replicate. That's the real tension here. Legacy versus longevity, business versus passion. Whether people think Floyd is chasing money, history, or just the feeling of being Money Mayweather again, the conversation itself proves his influence. Everywhere you look, people are debating, breaking down, and dissecting every angle of this comeback. That's the magnetic pull legends have on the sport.
That's the struggle, and that's the danger of coming back at this age. So part of me wants to see these guys continue to make money. Part of me wants to see these guys, how do they do it at this age? Man, show me something. Show me how your mind can overtake the deficiencies you may have in your body at your age. But the deeper part of me, man, I want to see Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao on a beach somewhere, living off the fruits of their labor, helping the game however they see fit to help the game, and just watching the next generations do what they do. But hey, we got to fight September 19th.
All right, I want to hear from you. What's really driving Floyd Mayweather's return? Is it about money, passion for boxing, or finishing what he started with Manny Pacquiao? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can break it down together. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.